Hi, my name is Megan Stupak, and this is going to be my final extra credit presentation on the statistics in the media assignments. So the first statistics in the media assignment that I did, I came in kind of clueless. I definitely feel like I'm a lot more knowledgeable on these topics. This is my first article. Majority disapprove of coronavirus protests. I'm sure, we've all been reading these articles like crazy. I really try to stay away from the news, but this is pretty much all that's in it right now. So this is what all of my articles revolved around for the most part. So this article specifically, the U.S. population was our population, but our sample was the 1,002 U.S. adults that were polled. It was a panel-based survey, so it was, random sampling. It was pretty straightforward. The potential bias I saw here was just that, not everyone has a computer, not everyone has internet access. Most of us, yes, but, they're still out there. And then I found that this was a little bit misleading just because it seemed like a lot of people agreed with the governor's decisions, yet they felt that other people still had right to fight the restrictions. So, I guess we all kind of feel that way sometimes. Our opinion may not be the same as others. I just thought it was kind of a weird article. So our variables here were the approval or disapproval of the stay-at-home order, the specifications about bars and restaurants, churches, and then just, the general opinion about the stay-at-home order itself. They were all quantitative, ordinal. It was a good article. It was just kind of contradictory to me. So moving along to the next article, I feel like I got a little better every time, which was reflective in my grade. So this one, half of Americans would get a COVID-19 vaccine. Makes sense. The only issue I had here was that, I felt it was a small sample after, in the beginning. And now that we've gone through this class, I realized that, 1,000 plus people is not a small sample. There were, so the population in this was the American population. And the sample was 1,056 U.S. adults that were polled. Obviously not a small sample in the beginning. It just didn't seem like a big number to me, but I've definitely learned. Again, this is random sampling. The variables here were race or ethnicity and age, preferred political party, all quantitative, ordinal. This one was about, the vaccine being developed and who would receive or not receive the vaccine. I kind of feel like through time, these numbers have probably changed quite a bit, but I have not researched that. So my next article, which is where I started to completely understand exactly what we were doing here. This one was concerns over getting sick with COVID-19 and paying for health care disproportionately affect communities of color. So this article surveyed different races and ethnicities and their concern with contracting COVID-19 and the worry of the medical care that comes with it. This article was it was very good. I felt like I kind of had a grasp of a lot of it. This was a United States population, 1,002 adult Americans again, random sampling. So my potential bias here was that it kind of seemed like there was a possible lack of variety in races that were surveyed. It's hard to kind of pick at things and be picky with that to me, but it really seemed like, you know, it just wasn't as vast as I would have wanted it to be. You know, what was misleading here is that, you know, if our bias was that there weren't enough races surveyed, that it would throw off of our numbers, because, you know, you have to have more of a sample of races and ethnicities. Our variables here, I had race and ethnicity, which would be qualitative and nominal. And then the another variable would be the general concern about getting sick with COVID-19, and then about paying medical bills associated with it as well. And then my last article is this local news is playing an important role for Americans during COVID-19 outbreak. This article was basically about, you know, whether people are watching national news or whether they're watching local news or both, and, you know, how they're getting their information about everything that's been going on. So this I don't know, this article, it was good. It just, you know, it just seemed kind of pointless. I don't know. So the population was a U.S. population. Our sample, they didn't give an exact number, but it was just U.S. adults that were surveyed. Again, random sampling. Again, here I found my potential bias to be that, you know, not everyone has a computer, not everyone has internet access, not everyone watches the news, like myself. But, you know, even some people, you know, may only have the 247 basic channels, so they don't really have access to national news. So the statistics here, I did find it kind of misleading that, you know, it just tells you where they get their news. It doesn't tell you how accurate that news actually is. You know, sometimes your news source isn't accurate, and it doesn't tell us how well they did in reporting the information. Our variables here are the basic opinion on, you know, whether it was national, local, or both, quantitative and ordinal. There were a few other polls here. They did percent of U.S. adults who chose their major source of news. For example, they used local news, state news, from the Trump party, from their neighbors, you know, just different places that people found their news source. Quantitative, ordinal, and then whether or not the news got the information correct would be quantitative or ordinal. Again, that was all opinion based. So I found these articles, you know, while they were all COVID-19, I kind of wonder what my articles could have been like had all of this not going on. So it's been very interesting. I've certainly learned a crazy amount in this class. I've definitely struggled, but it's been a good struggle. So that's pretty much all I've got. Thank you.